EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Everybody licks their chops when they get the chance to play one of the most famous courses in the world, the stadium course at the TPC Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Frank, where are the scoring opportunities on this Pete Dye layout?
You can always look at the par 5s, 2, 9, 11 and 16. They provide probably the best chances to make birdies, or even in some situations, eagles. The next best thing really is the short par 4s. 12 comes to mind, a little blind tee shot. You don't have to hit driver, just sort of something long ironish, maybe a fairway wood off the tee, and then a wedge shot into a green that, will certainly, if you put the ball in the right position, give you an excellent chance for another birdie. Oh, it's perfect. That is a huge opening tee shot.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This is a good-looking shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
Oh, he's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Clean this up with a tap. -1, one really going. Down to the second. Frank, what do you make of this hole?
Well, over the years, we've seen more and more people hitting 3-wood off this tee. And a 3-wood's normally easier to draw, and it doesn't run out down that right side.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Settles in over the putt. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Setting up for the third hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Relatively short par 3 at 177 yards.
But you've got to carry that ball at least 4 or 5 yards onto this green, even when it's firm.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
A sensational shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Boy, this would be nice, Frank. I mean, you talk about jump-starting around. If he were to make another birdie, boy, he'd really have it going in the right direction.
You can sort of feel it, too. People around there know. And I've seen the birdies to this point.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank, how important is positioning off the tee here?
Well, we saw a positional tee shot at 1 and 2. This is another one here at 4. long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, how impressive is this performance so far?
You've got to tip your hat. Really, just played good from the first hole on. Rhythm's good. Hit a lot of good shots. Very smart, very smart decision making as well.
I had to take that shot arc thing off. It's almost cheating, I find.
Presented by
We'll see
EA
how well I
Sports
play now.
and the PGA Tour. Welcome to TPC Sawgrass, known for one of the most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 17th Island Green. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We'll be calling all the action for today's event. Frank, you're no stranger to this layout, one of the most demanding golf courses on tour.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. There's water abound. This course is famous for its tragedies as well as its triumphs. But if you get through here successfully, then you can certainly pat yourself on the back.
Starting the round here at the TPC Sawgrass, the first hole, 423-yard par 4. And Frank, it's actually a mirror image of the 10th hole. So what's the strategy as players get started?
Ideally, you want to keep it down the left, but that bunker all the way in the distance does come into play for the longer hitters. For a lot of players, just simply a 3-wood down there, you're only going to have a short iron in. And this green is sort of an irregular shaped green, and it sort of slopes left to right. So ideally, if you can, keep your tee shot down the right side of the
guideline, man. Holy shit. It's the first time I ever played
Nicely
like
played
this.
shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Normally you'd have the blue line to be able to see everything, right?
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
To a good shot on the dance floor. Whoops. This one just requires a little bit of focus. exactly the kind of putt you want to start off the round.
Yeah, it looks like first hole nerves. Just needs to shake it off, take the bogey, and he's going to have to start again on the next.
2-1 over par early on in this round.
We'll turn the putting line on for now.
How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a second consecutive shot into the rough.
This could pound very, very quickly, so now's a chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out.
Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. So we started with a par 4, then a par 5, and now the 177-yard par 3 third hole. Plenty of hazards here, Frank.
You really break this green up into 3 portions. Front left, front right, and that back, just on top of the ridge.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Back to par for the round. Frank, the bunker on the right, I wouldn't call that a pot bunker. That is some kind of a hazard, isn't it?
Yeah, meanders all the way down the right side, but really it's the lesser of 2 evils. I'd rather be in that bunker on the right than the hill on the left.
That's in the fairway. Frank, this approach shot here at the 4th is not a long one, but it could end up disastrous.
It can. You have to be very aware of where these mounds are on this green.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, I thought he made that.
Well, the fourth hole looks like it's going to claim another victim.
Just a couple of feet. Putt drops. Now at 1 over par. Now to the fifth. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Frank now getting set for the second shot here at the fifth.
Yeah, relatively big green or flat green, but you've got to be careful. If you miss it on the left, especially in that left rough just short of the bunker, it's a little devilish of a chip.
Good looking shot right here. That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Nice putt, and now back to level par. Hole number 6, I really like this hole, Frank. It's fun par 4.
Yeah, very claustrophobic tee shot, heading through that chute to the fairway. Starts to open up, and then it sort of shrinks in again because of all the palm trees around this green. But very short par 4, so if you're good with a wedge, good chance for 3.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Every time we go back to the players, there's always the talk. You know, the meetings that we always have, too much about 17. And yet, everywhere we go all over the world, and even when I played there, the one hole that was talked about in the locker room was 17, how unfair or fair it was that day. And it's the one hole that spectators always talk about. So in a way, 17 is TPC Sawgrass.
You know, Phil Mickelson always said it's like walking on a balance beam, that if it's 2 feet off the ground, it's no big deal. But if you raise that to 25 feet off the ground, yes, it's the same task, it's that same beam, but you know, you look down and you're in some trouble. It's the moment that makes it really hard. And when that crowd goes silent, and they always do, especially on a Sunday, when that ball is airborne, they go silent for that 2 or 3 seconds while it's hanging in midair, and you don't know, wet or dry, victory or defeat. It's really still one of the best moments in the game.
Yeah, 17 is golf's version of vertigo.
had to get my charger. There we go.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Settles in over the putt. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Seventh hole here at Sawgrass. Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
That's a solid shot here into the 8th hole, and a good chance now for another birdie. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Nice par to remain 1 under. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 9th hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true 3-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here. Second shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. And getting ready for the putt. That's 2 under par, playing well. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10. Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for a day, but they don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You got 5 minutes to find it.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
He has a birdie opportunity here. That is a handful. 5 birdies now for the round. What a day. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old linked short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. This drive down the left side, Frank.
Yeah, it creates a blind second shot because of the mounds in front. So a little bit of guesstimation coming up here, but still only a short iron.
Good swing, good shot yet again. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Frank, so much focus on the back 9 here at the stadium course at TPC Sawgrass on the 17th hole with the island green. I think 13 gets lost sometimes, but the pros know this is a really good hole.
Oh, it can be disastrous too. That's, I think, what you're referring to, Rich. There's a big ridge in the middle of this green that bisects the top side with the bottom side on the left. So even when the flag's on the left, you don't have to go directly at it, because that normally causes the problem with the wooden bulkheads down the left side and obviously the water left of that. So something on the ridge can often run down towards the left. But we have seen the odd hole-in-one here over the years. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one safely on.
3 under on the day. Frank, Tiger certainly had his adventures here at 14.
Well, we'll never forget that. Spun it left. In the end, was very, very lucky to get away with 6. Had it been 7, Garcia might have just caught him at the post. But he will, and we will, never forget 14.
Excellent looking shot here.
Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank, how did he do there?
Well, he's inside 30 feet, but 27 feet, it's not exactly what you'd call close.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He needs this for par. That is a solid par putt. Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right. This is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway. From there, it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on this green, because this is another green that's not flat. If the second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Getting set now for the approach at the 15th.
Yeah, good-looking second shot here, but you've got to be precise. Hardly a flat spot on this green.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else
Buddy
is
just
gonna
said I
say,
hit it way
except
too
him.
much, and I put it like 3 feet or something. My bad, 6 feet. Got the
You have to
putt,
like
though.
that. 4 under. Frank, fans watching, they love excitement in the game. 16's an exciting hole, isn't it?
Well, that's where you get it, because you hear the roars. You start to see the big crowds that go all the way around 16, 17, and 18 tee. You feel where you are in the tournament, too. A movement that starts at 16 can be carried all the way to the clubhouse. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
And now the second shot here at this par 5. Good-looking shot right here. Wouldn't say he's ecstatic, but not unhappy either.
At 24 feet, there'll be a lot of players much further away than that on this hole.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Starting to heat up now. Back-to-back birdies. Well done. Frank, how early in the round are you thinking about the shot at 17?
Well, when you're playing well, you're pushing it ahead. Maybe you don't think about it till 14 or 15. If you're struggling, you might be thinking it early as the 5th or the 6th hole. But put it this way, when you make the walk from 16 to 17, you are thinking of it every inch of the way.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, it was bound to come to an end at some point. Drops just one shot after that terrific stretch of birdies. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7.
Never a pleasant moment, the drop after you've gone into the water, but here we are. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Now the approach shot here to 18. Just one last good swing, Frank.
There's a little false front here that you have to avoid, so something that pitches over that right bunker that lands a good 10 or so yards on this green is certainly the desired goal. It's like cyber vision. Shot after shot, right at the flag.
Just dialed in. Finished with a final score of 69. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and executed.
And consequently, a very solid round. Continuing with that kind of play can certainly put you in the winner's seat.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We're here in the state of Massachusetts on a magnificent fall day. TPC Boston, the site for the action. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
It was built in 2002, Rich. Had some changes over the years with Gil Hands and Brad Faxon, but it's certainly been a staple on the PGA Tour. It was first played a tournament there back in 2003. Adam Scott got his first win on the PGA Tour, and since 2007 has been a part of the FedEx playoffs.
It's a part of 72. See if you can break the course record today. It's only 61, held by Vijay Singh and Mike Weir.
Yeah, just a 61. Big golf course. And with that 18th hole, well, we'll see if you can get 11 under on the 18th tee. That'll be a little bit of a difference.
Really exciting finishing hole here at TPC Boston. Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Good contact, good result. There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That will be a great look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. One under early in the round. Frank, the best in the game, they like to see a par 5 early. What's the second hole all about?
A couple of bunkers down the right side. This hole was renovated back in 2010. They sort of changed the mounding on the green, took a bunker away on the left, and now that second shot is daunting, even for the best players. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290. Second shot. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Playing his third here at the par 5. It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Frank, you've talked about this sort of New England feel they gave this golf course when they remodeled it. This is a pretty good example here at the third hole.
Yeah, that stone wall behind just sort of makes the golf course look like it's been there forever. They have tweaked the green a little bit on that left side, created a little bit of a ridge. You can sort of play the ball off that if you know where you're going.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
A good effort, a good par putt. Frank, at 298 yards, the fourth is reachable for just about every professional. What might scare them off?
Well, that bunker on the left, that's really actually a chance to showcase your skills, and that's where you realize how much better professional golfers are. A good bunker play, especially on a hole like 4, and then you will get well rewarded.
This is a great place for a fan to watch, isn't it?
It is. You see so many different short shots around this green. The bunker shots from the left side, if you hit it over the back on the right, the little bump and run through the little valley in the green. Fun hole to watch.
Perfectly placed tee shot will set up an eagle opportunity, but then you see quite a few bogeys made here as well.
Yeah, if you stray a little bit, leave the ball too far short, and you have to play that pitch across the bunker, that's no fun.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Not a problem there, Rich.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Frank, now a beefed up par 4. This is the fifth, 466 yards long.
Prettiest hole on the golf course. A nice, gentle dogleg left. There's a bunker down the left side about 300 yards, and then there's a run out at 350. What a great shot.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320. This looks like it's going to find the target.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. This is one of the most challenging holes on the golf course, Frank. 465-yard par 4 sixth.
Yeah, just hit your tee shot in between those two trees. You don't have to be too aggressive. You really do have to hit this ball in the fairway because that green is tucked very close to the water.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Well, those are good numbers right there. 320. 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should.
Has to be pleased with that. An approach shot within 12 feet. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
third birdie on the round. Frank, you just love the variety of holes here at TPC Boston. Now we get to the 7th. It's a 600-yard par 5.
It looks straight away, but the problem is if you don't hit a good tee shot, then you really have to be aware of that cross bunker. That is one place you don't want to go with your second shot.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. Nice position, short grass, second shot. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
And he's made it onto the green now. Let's see if he can make it 3 in a row.
He can't be that good. Back-to-back birdies and 6 under par. Onto the 8th hole, Frank. Nice par 3. Yeah, this is where the accurate iron player will definitely get an advantage over the field.
Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, I love a hot dog and a soda at the turn. How hard is it to take a giant bite out of this ninth hole? Looks tough.
It is. Everything sort of bends where those two bunkers are, and that was sort of 350 yards to get past that. And there's an annoying little bunker that's about 30 yards short of this green. So you have to be precise with both the first and the second shot.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Frank, here at the ninth, what are most players trying to do?
Well, you really have to be aware of that bunker. That's about 25 yards short of the green. If you finish up there, that's one of the hardest shots in golf, the long bunker shot. So you've got to carry that, even if you want to run the ball onto this green.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Looking for my screen. Never mind. Well, change it. Auto lock. I'm right there. It's right there. Screen lock.
I found this on the web.
Screen lock settings. Yeah, I'm with you. The only spot I could see it was that spot that it was in.
Ooh, so close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. And getting ready for the putt.
Man, fuck. I misheard you.
Well, you can see it there. Feels very good about what he's doing. That's a nice par putt. Stays at 6 under. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
I would get the best shoes of my life and not be able to use them.
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
There's just one little sliver.
In the fairway here at the 10.
One little
nice
sliver
way
of
to
my
start off
heart
the back
left.
9.
And you guys got it.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there.
Instantly
Another
locked.
dazzling approach
It didn't
shot.
walk, but
Pretty
it
close.
turned off. That's doable. All I gotta do is push my buttons. Yeah, that's fine.
How about 7 under par now? Frank, like all TPC golf courses, TPC Boston has the fan in mind. So you see those mounds throughout the golf course that gives people a chance to just sit, relax, and watch some golf. And there's a nice shady spot on the hill behind the 11th.
Yeah, that's just before the 12th tee, and you really do get a look at the tee shots coming in 11, as well as the little undulations and contours on that massive green.
Weird.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
No, from that distance, it's more than good.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the
First
read.
bogey.
So after all that, it's a bogey.
The bogey.
Moving on now to the 12th, and Frank, describe this hole for us.
Sneaky good par 4. It's long enough, you know, sort of that 450, 460 mark. Bends a little to the left. Really, you want to be in the middle of fairway here, because that second shot with the green just tilting towards the hazard. One of the toughest second shots you have on the golf course.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. 180 yards away, ready to play the second shot. Frankie's knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
These putts keep the round together.
Just when you think you're going to make
A
birdie,
huge L.
now
in my
I
line.
have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
You serious?
So stays at 6 under with that solid par putt. Back-to-back par fours here at TPC Boston, set to
needing
tee
you
off,
away.
Frank, at the 13th.
Nice big tee shot here. Once again, suits the long hitters. There's a little bit of a quarry that you've got to carry across.
But this one has a chance to be really good. I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Straight away now from 145 yards. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
For birdie. On fire right now. 7 under par. Back here at the par 4 14th, ready to tee off. This is a big dog leg to the left. 495-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, don't try and hug that left side too much. There's a bunch of little mounds, and the chances of getting a good lie there, next to none. Second shot.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Now the third shot at the par 5. Frank, I thought that was in. Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
He is on a roll right now. Frank, after a couple of par 4s where you just sort of let it go with the driver, different strategy here at the 15th?
Yeah, you don't want to get carried away here. This is one where just a nice smooth swing, get that ball on the fairway. And that second shot, you've got to carry that false front.
Good contact, good result.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, I don't think they've come up yet with an EA Sports bass fishing challenge, and this wouldn't be the time to do it, would it? 16th hole.
We might see a few people fishing for their golf ball, though. Big mound in the middle of this green. You don't have to go directly at the flag when it's on the left. You can use that mound to kick the ball around.
Moving a little left of the flagstick, Frank. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Perdnier made it.
Boy, this would be nice. A 4th consecutive birdie. Heating up.
I'm running out of fingers.
Now -10 for the round. Frank almost at the house, but still some work to do. 412-yard par 4 17th.
Yeah, just poke something down that right side. Really, it's the second shot. You've got to worry about that big mound in the middle of the green.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, what makes this downhill shot a little trickier in terms of club selection and setup?
Because of the nature of the downhill, that ball's just going to come out a little lower. So you've got to take that into consideration. It might run a little more on the back end.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem.
I've heard of being on the zone, but this is he's just making it look so easy.
Just sensational golf. I mean, he is knocking down every flagstick right now. What a performance. Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston. This is one of the most exciting finishing holes in golf.
It was changed a couple of years ago, and it's such a better hole now.
It's
Two
worse
little
than
bunkers
Mortal Kombat.
right in front of you, 270 yards. But if you want to like a litmus test, that one on the right, Bubba Watson can carry that.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. Respectable shot right there, 20 feet or so from the hole. And it's a long way to the hole from here, never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, you have to like what you saw out there today.
I certainly did. Swing is excellent right now. Stroke, there's nothing wrong with that. Really, just it's a case of getting out of your own way. I mean, the opportunities ahead now, chance to win, just they have to be so motivating.
Alrighty then. Why are you muted all of a sudden?
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
And setting up here in the rough. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
It doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fine. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy. But on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Once considered the best PGA teaching pro in the country, our featured golfer.
My guy looks so weird.
And now sits comfortably inside the cut line.
He's like screaming
Par
at his
312
putter.
may not be as
angry
famous
looking.
as the par 3
And he made
16,
the
but
putt.
Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see. And courtesy of the water behind and to the right of the
Go in the
screen.
hole.
If you're going to bail out, find one of those bunkers.
Or the
A good
bunker.
bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snack trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Now from the bunker.
God, it looks like
Just a little
it is
splash out
dark.
on this par 3.
It's like a fucking... I just went random,
Great
and that was the one that
right
looked the
out of the
fucking
bunker
craziest that I had
and right
started.
next to the hole.
So what? It
And
kind of
getting
looks like
ready
me.
for the putt.
What are you saying? Bam. That's what you
Nice
get.
par to remain at 2 under.
I'm the only one
Let's
in
go
here
down now to
anyways.
hole number 13. Frank, it's only the first round, but you're a believer that these can be as important as the final round.
Well, if you get yourself in contention, Rich, then obviously you get the momentum much easier and the feeling of being in the hunt. That's going to give you the adrenaline rush, and you'll breeze through 4 rounds.
Nothing wrong with that one. How about 300 yards and in the fairway?
I don't think I can get it there. Go.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
I forgot to put boost on it.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. It's got 5 minutes to find it.
You'll need to be strong with this. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Has his par. At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers. Ah, nice.
Looks good. It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. That will be a great look at birdie. These putts keep the round together.
You fucking made it, ladies and gentlemen.
Impressive. Goes to 3 under with that birdie for the tournament.
Have a little sip of the beer.
There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field, and this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
That's the only thing I hate about the career mode. They don't really let you play the full rounds. They just force a couple holes on you to make it move faster. But I don't mind playing the full rounds. I wonder if you can change that. I don't know. Don't care. We're going to keep the plow train moving. What? Well.
If I want to.
Need a sandwich.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA
Patrick
Tour.
Reed's in this fucking
Simply
game
put, there is
leader?
nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport. We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular sight for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Seems to like it. Headed for the back part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank's starting to make the move.
Leaderboard very volatile at the moment, so a lot of move in that middle piece of the leaderboard. Top 20 so far.
Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green, because the further back you go, the wider it gets.
cold going around here is the fucking Corona. None of the colds going around here are the Corona. Too many junkies, it's grossed out.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all
Right.
the way.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. And currently, that's exactly where they stand.
Now here at the par 4 8, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of two bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those two bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Well, that's the way you draw it up here at the 8th. You want to get it out there. He's done that, and he's kept it in the fairway. 120 yards out, trying to flight this ball with the wind a factor coming from behind. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
What a birdie. Now just a handful of players in contention.
Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on, it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back, and now look like he's playing even better than ever. It took some doing.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down.
Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Coming off that exciting front side, we are set to go on the back nine here at the TPC Scottsdale. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Just a gorgeous afternoon. Great crowds as always, and you can feel the excitement building, Frank.
Oh, you certainly can, and the 10th hole's been changed quite considerably. You used to bail out down the left side, Rich, but they put a little bunker down there that sort of stops that play. And for the ones that tried to drive directly at the green, there's a little bunker that's hidden in the distance that'll sort of stop you going on that line. So really has to be respected. And the 428, or the rather modest 428 yards there, will play a little longer because this will play as a true dogleg right par 4.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. Beautiful looking shot right here. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. You can play it from there, 300 yards away and in the fairway. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Should be safely on deck.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the Wiley golf instructor makes his birdie. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Yeah, about 145 yards left here.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Will make birdie if he holds this putt. Moves into second place with that birdie. Two rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, you know, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lohner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch and nerve. He had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's 2 bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can bail out down the right side, well, you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. Twelfth hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Frank, it's not just a golf tournament at the TPC Scottsdale.
It's a party.
It's a giant throwdown, isn't it?
It certainly is, but the atmosphere works here. It just fits in. The players are aware of it. They're quite fine to play amongst it, too, because it's such a rare event.
And to be honest, a lot of the fans, and there were almost 180,000 on Saturday alone in 2013, a lot of the fans, they don't see a single golf shot. They're too busy having a good time, having a party.
Yeah, she's having a rough go. Father just died. Hates her job. Fucking job sucks. Fucking boyfriend lives in Texas, for crying out loud. Kid works at fucking fast food roulette. Should be taking no cash payments. Come here with tap. Come here with tap or step off, brah.
Looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good
How's my
they are,
cold beer
because
taste that I
that's
was
not
gonna
exactly
drink?
the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Not a problem there, Rich.
And getting ready for the putt.
You enjoying your beers that you were wanting?
That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank.
What?
Par 5 13. Frank, what kind of scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get on a par 5, obviously birdies and eagles come to mind. 13's been changed a little bit over the years. The split fairway's gone. Now it's just one fairway. Water in play, bunker on the left side. They certainly define this fairway. And they've toughened up the front and left side of this par 5 green. The longer hitter, a high ball hitter, still will get a reward at 13. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Oh, this is right at it.
We
And
like
makes
it.
the green in regulation. Well, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Well, you couldn't ask for much
Did I
more
tell
than
you
that.
I broke a golf
except
ball
to
that
make
first
it.
time out at the simulator?
Made par yesterday.
My first
this
hit,
one for
fucking
birdie.
Boom. Cecil gave me a brand new ball out of the sleeve. I put it on tape. Whap! Driver split it right in half. I was like, it was still together just a little bit. Like, wide open. He's just laughing at it. He's like, remember that ball you broke first? He showed me a screenshot from Dude, Where's My Par? They were fucking... Somebody showed a ball that was broken. He's brought up me.
In a very aggressive mode with that birdie now in second place.
Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway, actually makes the whole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. You don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This one has a chance to be close. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Now, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
Just a couple of feet. Even with that par, will drop down on the leaderboard.
Time to change gears. Birdie time.
Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
Announcers, crowd, grandstands, the whole 9 yard.
Good looking shot right here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This would give him an eagle. Wow, Frank, I did not expect that. An eagle. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fraught by water, bunkering that's been changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
We are about 170 yards from the hole. Get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Now look at this fucking putt. Good putt, Adam.
That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course. But this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Did the job right there. Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist-pumping, the rowdy spectators. I mean, he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And with that birdie, moves to third place. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall
thought you were watching
maybe
something.
the single most bizarre
Right there.
shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the
almost
ball
hit
hit
water
Tom
on the par
Byron's
four.
putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
On the green in regulation. Frankie's going for 2 birdies in a row.
If he can knock this one in, then that's certainly going to help the confidence.
So 1 shot closer to the lead with that birdie.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side, but it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle, making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Moves into second place with that birdie. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
That was pretty fun.
I might do another once I have a rip.